So it looks like a game developer has basically told the content creators that are getting early access that they cannot go into anything from politics to identitarianism. And you know what? That's a breath of fresh air. Let's talk about it on That Game Place. Hi, folks, it's me, CC, here once again from That Game Place with probably my favorite monster. Well, one of my favorite monsters. Anyway, it's Marvin the Movie Monster. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Very excited for this game. I'm going to be reviewing it for that game place, and I'm very excited to not talk about feminism in my review.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that the studio absolutely said, yeah, not with our game. And you probably don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about Black Myth Wukong and developer Game Science, and they're actually reportedly banning content creators who got early copies and keys to this game so they could review it from using politics and propaganda. And you know what? We already know of at least one or two outlets that violated that. So, woof. I
Oh
don't think
yeah,
they're ever going to get.
we talked about it in another video.
Yeah, which you actually probably can find right up there. But I will say this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I will say this that I have to tell you, I'm not surprised, and I guarantee you that this developer will never send those outlets a game key ever again because they violated the rules.
Yeah, and the outlets will freak out when they don't get the game. Like
Yeah.
remember when I forget which site it was that didn't get their Zelda, and they got really
Oh, it was
mad at
Kotaku,
Nintendo
right? Was
because
it Kotaku?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was Kotaku.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Kotaku.
Look, there are consequences for not playing by the rules. And if some of the biggest games of your lifetime come out and you can't do coverage on them early, well, you only have yourself to blame. But anyway, so the folks over there.
And for the record, from what I said in the beginning of the show, we do not get early access copies of
Oh,
games.
no.
So
Yeah.
we're reviewing it when it drops.
Yeah, which is great because that'll really force Marvin to play fast and hopefully get good. Right? Because that's what you have to do in games is get good. Anyway, back.
That's right. You got to get good.
Yeah, you got to get good. That's right. So back to this amazing thing covered by our good friend Andrew Esquire, otherwise known as Legal Mindset, is somebody shared the contract, and the agreement informs content creators that they cannot insult other influencers or players, and that they are not to use any offensive language or humor. So that's fairly standard. You don't want anything disparaging out there about your game that would turn people off. But it then notes that they cannot include politics, violence, nudity, identitarianism, propaganda, any kind of, fetishy things, and other content that instigates negative discourse.
Wow. So I guess it's very clear that Alyssa McConte will not be reviewing this game early.
No. But other female reviewers have, and you can actually tell because they violate at least two of these things.
Yep.
Furthermore, it also bans trigger words such as, well, things that, we had during a global lockdown, which makes sense, and prevents creators from discussing content related to China's game industry policies, news, etc. Which also makes sense because this game is coming from where, Marvin?
China.
That's right. So here's the contract that was shared with everybody who was going to get access to the game. By using the game key and creating content, you acknowledge that you've been informed of the following content and your statements are not related to the marketing team. Do's and don'ts. Do's, enjoy the game. Okay, sounds good. That's good. That's a good deal. And then the don'ts are here listed that we just went through, which, is pretty specific. So, Black Myth Wukong, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so by having to adhere to these rules, games reviewers and journalists are actually going to have to talk about the game.
Certainly, even though they can't help themselves.
Oh no, they cannot.
Yeah.
We've learned that.
Yeah. And again, you want to check out that video. We're not kidding. But Black Myth Wukong and its developers at Game Science have been subject to a smear campaign from numerous media outlets, including IGN, The Guardian, and GameSpot. And I've seen all three of those now, courtesy of our friend of the channel, Makini Draws. He made sure I saw them, in fact, by contributing to our live stream last Wednesday. But apparently IGN's Rebecca Valentine and Ki-Hoon Chen initially ran an article accusing the developers of an ism. Not a good ism. Bad ism. And the duo reported that several posts have surfaced from Chinese social media site Weibo, I think it's Weibo, written by individuals from the studio that contain multiple references to genitalia and innuendos, I'm sure. Or maybe you're like translating it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
However, these translations of some of these offensive things that we've skipped over for now, these translations have been called into question. A clip from Asmongold Clips notes that Fang Jia's comment is a used idiom in the Chinese language as a colloquial expression of humorously or sarcastically to describe a situation where excessive flattery or sycophancy has an overwhelming and paralyzing effect on someone. The use of such metaphors can be found in informal speech on social media, just like many things are said on social media here that are deemed acceptable, despite the fact that if you take them literally, well, there's going to be a problem. Now, the video,
Right, of course.
yeah, the video here also alleges that other posts were translated in the most uncharitable way possible in order to push the narrative that the developer was an ist and another ist. There were just ists all over the place. Yikes.
Yep.
And look, nevertheless, IGN doubled down as part of their first impression article. And Valentine wrote a section addressing the outlet's report from November, stating, "Last year we published a comprehensive report on IGN detailing a number of ist statements and inappropriate remarks made by multiple developers of Black Myth Wukong, including those in leadership roles at Game Science. As of the publication of this preview, Game Science has yet to provide any response or statement addressing our report or their past remarks." And you know what? It's probably the best course for them.
Absolutely. They don't need to play this game because once you stop playing their game, they win.
Yeah, exactly. So after detailing how she enjoyed the preview of the game at the Summer Game Fest, Valentine added, "It is also true that several of the people who are making it have made disparaging remarks about women and don't seem to be interested in either retracting their past statements or supporting the numerous women who are being harassed in online conversations." Well, you instigated it about Black Myth Wukong purely for expressing their discomfort with those statements. Both of these ideas can exist simultaneously. What audiences want to do about this conflict is ultimately their choice. Well, Marvin, overwhelmingly, would you agree that the audiences are, well, just ready to enjoy this game?
I think audiences are ready to just unplug their brains and have a little fun as a monkey man running through like ancient China and battling other animal people. I don't think they're sitting there injecting modern day identity politics into it. No.
Yeah, ultimately, she concluded her ridiculousness with the following. One last note. I didn't see any women or femme-coded characters. Femme-coded? Coded characters.
What does that even mean?
Well, you know, maybe people that identify as women. I don't know. But
there were two X's in the character's code in the back end of the game.
I don't know, but I do know that you know, she says, "I was able to confirm from Game Science that there were none present in the section of the game presented to the press. There will be women in the final game, but for now it's impossible to really comment or whether or not Game Science developers expressed beliefs permeate Black Myth Wukong in a meaningful way." You can't actually say that they're expressed beliefs because you don't know if your translation. I don't care. These people are ridiculous.
They don't care. They don't have any journalistic integrity about anything.
And of course, these accusations were repeated by the usual suspects, the Guardian, and so on and so forth. But I unfortunately met with very little honest communication when I bring up a report from IGN, which related to alleged ist comments from multiple developers at Game Science, as well as those in leadership roles. So look, they're still trying to burn this down in the same exact way. It will not be successful. We have some.
Well, yeah, they're terrified because this 5 years ago would have worked, and now it doesn't work anymore. And now the fact that it doesn't work anymore means they're losing their power. And that is something that revolutionaries try to cling very deeply to.
Well, they had the illusion of power, and these numbers go to show it. In fact, in this section, I'm going to read this real quick. Please bear with me. Despite the smears, gamers have shown intense interest in the game. The game is most wish-listed upcoming game on Steam's DB charts, the database charts. It has over 623,000 followers, more than double the second wish-listed game, Hollow Knight Silksong, which has 296,000. Now, mind you, we have a sampling of what the numbers are from the game. The benchmark tool hit 85,277 during the peak concurrent players when it launched on Steam earlier this week. And the benchmark tool is just non-playable. It allows players to check their hardware for performance and compatibility. I do this all the time. I download a benchmark tool, especially for VR games, to make sure I've got enough horsepower that it's going to play at the best resolution. Don't you do that?
Yeah, and you know what I saw on that list of the top 10 up there? I did not see Star Wars Outlaws on that list of most wish listed games. Did you notice that?
No, let's go back up here. Oh no. Let's see.
It's not there that as far as I can see.
Black Myth Wukong, Hollow Knight Silksong, Frostpunk 2, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, Stalker 2, Marvel Rivals, Arc 2, Unrecord, I don't know, whatever, and Light No Fire.
Wait, does that mean that nobody wants to play Star Wars Outlaws on Steam? That can't be true.
Well, it means that it doesn't have 116,000 follows.
Wow, that's insane.
But I'm looking at this, and according to the benchmark tool, this looks pretty good. And I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good. But ultimately, I guess I only have a question for you, Marvin.
Shoot.
Do you think this is going to be one of the most played games this month, despite dropping in the middle of the month?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it's going to have a really big initial drop. I think that what they tried to do by trying to ruin this game actually brought a lot of people's attention to it, and the game looks stunning. So when you see it, you're just like, "Wow, that looks like a world that I want to be a part of." I think that what IGN and all of its other little virtue signaling game journalism outlets have done here is create a hit for game science.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And I would venture to say that based on the previous video that maybe you've seen, or maybe you'll see later on, or maybe you'll see it right after this video, in talking about this game, that they really did try to make it sound like it was not going to be easy for people to get the best experience, but it looked like the best option for you to play at, or the best, system setup, was not all that expensive. And I think most people would have in their gaming rig. So I don't know what gaming rig they were playing with, but it wasn't a very powerful one. So I guess we'll just have to see. And of course, I can't wait for your review, Marvin, because I'm actually probably going to buy this game based on your review. Just, no pressure.
Oh boy, that's a tall order, but I'm up to the challenge.
I know you are, and I know you guys can't wait for the review either. But we have to come to an end now and ask you a question. Are you looking forward to this game? Are you excited to play this game? Are you going to let commentary like this from these outlets drive your interest? Or did they already, or they have no effect? Or did they have, as Marvin suggested, the opposite effect? Now you're more interested because they are fighting against the politicization. I can't say the word. Politicization. Marvin, say the word.
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Because obviously the game's been
politicization.
Politicization. There we go. I said it. Despite all of that.
Good job. All right, just recap that one, and we're good.
I'm gonna use it all. I'm keeping it in. You guys got to see us screw up a lot. It was fun. So anyway, do let us know your thoughts on that. Is any of that going to push you away, or did it drive you to it? I just want to know. Let us know your thoughts down below. Double check that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, wow, do that now. Also, hit the like button. Give us a comment, please. Even if it's just say hello. And watch another one of our videos on our channel right after this one, because that's good. It helps us. Thank you. And on that note, as we always say, get your game on.